Welcome to Craving Cars Live, coming to you, well, live.
Well, kind of live.
Broadcasting from the Power and Light District. My name is Corey Pratt.
I am Chris Ruck.
And we have a fun show.
We do. We have a great show that's going to be happening tonight.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
excited about everything.
But first things first, for the ones who helped make this show possible, we have to send a little thanks to our sponsors. Thank you, Richline. Thank you, Timely Delivery Service. Kids in Cars, which we'll get to talk more about that later. And our
new one.
Check it out.
There you go.
We are Warriors. Thank you, Jason. If you want to hear a little bit more about this and some more history about We Are Warriors as well.
Yeah, and the message behind it.
Yes, our episode 2, we had Jason on as our guest.
We did.
And check this out. We Are Warriors on the sleeve. Super comfortable stuff.
Yeah.
I can't wait to actually, I don't have the pants yet. I got to try the pants out.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
that's, We Are Warriors.
You know what?
Right
But
anything on the back? Oh, look at that. Overcome,
super quality.
Baby.
For
They
sure.
are really nice. I
Yeah,
like
they
them a
are.
lot. Here, check out this
They
hood.
are.
You want to see how big this hood is? Look at this. Over my hole. Look at that. I can just do the show this way.
Luke, you are my father.
Luke. Wait a minute.
All right, well, let's get into tonight's show.
Anyways, awesome
Yeah, for sure.
apparel. I love it. Okay, now, got to readjust there now. A little weekend chat, shall we?
We can.
This is time for weekly chat. Weekend. Sorry, last weekend we did a couple of cool things.
Well, we did your show, Riggs and Roast.
Riggs and Roast.
Yep.
It was a good turnout, and we had a cool little window with no rain even. It rained before, and it rained some after, and then right there.
You know what? But everything opened up for us.
It really did.
As soon as we showed up, rain shut off, sun came out.
Yep.
Everything was nice.
Yep.
And as soon as we were done, it went to hell.
It did. But that's okay. The show was over at that point.
That's right.
I do want to thank everybody who made it out.
Yeah.
Of finally being able to do another one since last October. And you need to stay up with Craving Cars. Subscribe to whatever you got to subscribe to that says Craving Cars or Craving Cars Live.
That's right. Just Google.
It's
all us.
Whatever it is. Instagram,
all us.
Facebook, our website, cravingcarslive.com, obviously YouTube. The video for the Riggs and Roast last weekend is already out.
It is.
So,
oh my gosh!
just
and
gotta
you
put
did a
up
great
yesterday.
job on that.
Thank you.
I got to tell you that.
Oh, I appreciate
I do.
that.
Yeah.
There is a little bit to going into a video. I think we're going to talk about that here in a little bit too.
We will.
But I do want to thank everybody for participating and coming out. And there are going to be more future Riggs and Roasts going on this year. So.
You know what I loved is you had a lot of people that they look forward to being at this show. In other words, they showed up early.
Glad.
They knew exactly what they wanted to do that day.
Yep.
And they made it a priority to be there.
Yep.
And they showed up early.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And they showed up early.
I know.
That was twice as important. You mentioned it twice.
Yeah, because we showed up early.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was great.
Barely.
It was.
We showed
it
up
was.
2 minutes before. No, I'm kidding.
But Roastery did an amazing job
Yes, thank you.
catering to us.
Yes, thank you to the Roastery for
You
that.
know what? And again, like we showed on the video, right? Never been there before,
You know,
but
you know how much
it was great.
You know how much we appreciate the Roastery for letting us do that there? It's the thumbnail.
Right, that's true.
The thumbnail is their cups of coffee sitting
Yep.
on the back of one of the guys' rigs that had it all
Yep.
pulled out. He had his old kitchen thing that came all out of his Gladiator. And that's the cool thing about overlanding vehicles is I don't care if you showed up and there's 100 people with a Jeep.
Right.
None of those Jeeps are going to be identical in any way.
Nope.
Except for the fact that they're a Jeep.
No.
They're going to be set up totally different.
Yeah.
They may have some similar things, but they'll be set up different. Their rigs they'll have different wheels, have different suspension setups, different bumpers, different slide outs, different kitchen ideas, different ways to camp. Some do the rooftop, some do a ground tent, some just sleep inside the vehicle. I mean, there really is. It's
Unique.
They're really unique. They really are.
They are. They are unique.
I feel like they require a little more engineering than just getting your normal little car.
You know what? I
and
think
tuning
it's
it.
more of not a performance side of things. It's more of the lifestyle. What makes you comfortable when you go on these trips, right, or whatever, versus what makes my car hot, right? Like most people.
Right. So
It's about performance. Whereas
you have the two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah,
there, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They're excited about going 2 miles an hour off road somewhere, where some other guys, excited
Yeah.
about going 100 miles an hour around some back roads or something.
Yeah.
But you're right. You got the cars that some want to make it fast, some want to make it shiny, and they're all about looks. Some put a little bit of that together.
Yeah.
And then you have the overlanding, the off-road community. It's not necessarily at all about making it flash. It's about making it functional and lifestyle, because
It's
these
a
guys,
lifestyle.
they can go out for days and days on end and live out of their vehicle like that.
Yeah.
So
Because I think that's the difference between a guy that has a car that he takes to car shows versus somebody that does a lifestyle in their car. In other words, goes to the trails, camps, spends the whole weekend, right? I mean, most car people don't do that, right?
That's right.
Unless you're
right.
into the lifestyle
Yep.
of it. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something I've kind of always been into, the multiple ends of the spectrum on there.
Yeah.
And then if you look at my car choices, I've got 2 cars on this end and I've got 2 cars on that end, and not a whole lot in between.
So what's the two ends? Call it out.
Well, you've got your cars. So I've got my Porsche and I've got a Golf GTI.
Yep.
A tuner's dream.
But you have a Jeep too, though.
That's the other 2. I have the Jeep and then I've got the van. Both on the overlanding,
Right.
camp out. I want to go do whatever. Now, the Jeep's not built out to be an overlander, but it's been many, many times in its off-road worlds and its years that I've had it. So it has been off-roading and has been camping many times, but that was less overlanding setup, because I
That's
didn't
something
know.
to live in.
10 years ago, I didn't know anything about overlanding.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just knew I'd like to go kind of explore. You do a little camping. I've always thought it would be cool to drive your vehicle. You go camp a little bit for that night, then you get up the next morning and you make some breakfast, and then you go
Yeah.
down the trail some more. And you're never in the same spot twice when you're camping. So most campouts I've done, we go somewhere. That's where you're there the whole time. You do activities around there,
Yeah.
but you don't go anywhere else. And I love that side of the camping too, but I never thought that back in the day that it had a name. I didn't know it was called overlanding in a
Right,
sense.
right,
So I
right.
just thought it was like
And it is,
4x4 camping.
yeah. And it is its own lifestyle,
It is.
to be honest.
And I like it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And
That's
which
awesome.
is why with Craving Cars, we are trying to cover
I'm going to say it
both
again.
ends of
That's
that.
awesome.
It is pretty cool. So
We're
on the-
trying to get rid of these names that we keep calling out, but it's all right.
I think you can make a drinking game out of how many times you say
Yeah,
awesome
right.
and how many times
Awesome.
I say cool.
There you go. All right.
And then nobody would make it to the end of the show because they'd be drunk.
That's true. But, I did talk to you why I'm dressed the way I am.
Yeah, why?
'Cause
Well,
the
look at you.
F1.
I thought those were new sponsors coming in.
Well, I wish.
Tag Heward's not going to
Hopefully.
sponsor Craving Cars Live?
Hopefully. Well,
I
Red
thought
Bull's
they're
not
not going to
either,
send us out a
so.
new watch. And
No, but that's what I love.
It's only
I
30
do
grand.
love F1 racing. I found it very.
Yes.
I'd never been into racing until 2 years ago. Then all of a sudden I got into it and I realized that's pretty cool. Now,
See, now
I
he's
know a
using
lot
cool.
of people love NASCAR, right?
that is for America, for United States, that's probably the most viewed
Yeah.
racing here. I would think,
And I never got into it because
it's only here.
left,
So it's-
speed, left, speed, left, speed.
well, here's the thing: they don't all have left corners. Sometimes there's just not a corner; it's just a big.
Well,
you
but
don't
it's
even turn.
always left.
You're kind of veered a little bit. I
Okay.
think they just put the steering
Yeah,
wheel
yeah.
permanently. No, I'm kidding.
But what I love about F1 is it truly is a track, which we've talked about, right? When
Road-
you
yeah,
want
it's all
to
about
test
having
a
a
car,
road course, right.
Yeah, when you want to test your car, you got to take it on a track course,
Yep.
not change left, right? I mean, it is about testing
does-
your speed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they go max, like 200 miles an hour into a corner that banks like 180.
And the car is shaking like this. and
Yeah,
it's like,
and they're down to like 10 miles an hour to make the turn, and then they go back up. So,
and really, as far as racing cars go,
Yeah.
I know there's some tech to it, but they're very basic. It wasn't
are.
until only a few years
They
ago,
are.
I think they were still even carbureted.
well, actually, 2 years ago, they were scripted. Every car had to be built the same. You couldn't do any mods to your car that didn't meet a certain spec. So, in other words, back then it was Audi, Porsche, Mercedes,
We're jumping
right?
back and forth. Sorry, we're on F1 now. A minute ago, I made a NASCAR comment. Sorry.
Oh,
Apologize.
yeah, NASCAR, they're all the same because it's the same thing.
It's a stock car.
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
be
yeah.
similar. You're supposed to judge it on the driver alone.
Yeah.
But F1, it's been that way where it's the manufacturer may have had more money, may have had more engine tech in it.
Correct.
But then
They were in specs.
At one point, it did kind of.
In 2022, they said you can do your own thing.
Okay.
As long as you stayed within these realms. In other words, pre-2022, you had to use the same engine, same aerodynamics, same everything.
So,
right?
so really, having the best car isn't necessarily going to win you. Having the best driver,
It was more driver back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But right now, it's really a combination of both. It truly
Now
is a
it's
team
both.
in general.
Yeah.
So you've got to have the good team behind you.
Yeah.
To make to make that car fast enough, but then that driver's got to be able to push that car to wherever it needs to.
Correct.
Because you can't just drive them. Actually, you can't even drive them balls out, can you?
No, you can until you have to make the next turn.
You can. However, you have to be able to last the whole race. And I mean, I don't mean like worried about blowing up your car or the engine or something like that. But there's something else, right?
Tires.
You only get so many tires, don't you?
You get only so many tires. So there's 3 sets of tires, right? A soft, a medium, a hard.
Yeah.
And if you waste your softs, which are normally the fastest tires, right? Your soft. They don't last long, but they're
right. But you're gonna get the best grip, right?
But if you go through all those for qualifying, you can't use them in the race because now you've gone through them.
Because now you're already going through them all.
Right.
So now it's like, do you pull a faster qualifying time or?
And then exactly right because you're trying to qualify in pole, right?
Yep.
And now you're pole positioned, but you wasted them. Now you can't use them again. So now it's something else. And the other thing is the DRS, which is the drag coefficient, right? So you got a rear wing spoiler.
Yeah.
Right? And you go through this lane as long as you're within 1 second from the leader, you can engage it. In other words, that wing will open, right? And give you less drag on the car.
Lets you go a little bit faster.
Go a little faster. Yeah.
So can those be adjusted on the fly? Sort of?
Well, it's part of the body design, yes.
Are they active aero?
They are.
Or is it only okay, so it's not just something they adjust in
But
the pits.
only active when you're in this realm of 1 second from... So let's say it this way. Most cars are built the same, right? Mm-hmm. So you have 2 cars that are identical.
Yeah, so they basically have that body-wise, they're not really... It's not like one can be made completely different than the other, right?
Not a lot.
They have the same...
Not a lot, yeah. They changed the
They basically have
rules
the same kind of ground effects and front rear spoilers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is about the drag that you can put on a car. And Red Bull is just dominating.
I didn't know that.
They're just blowing it away.
I had no idea that
there's a lot.
That the whole drag...
Yeah, and it
the
takes
downforce... I didn't understand. I know the downforce is adjustable, but I didn't know it was adjustable while they were racing.
It's crazy. I mean, to be honest, I've seen... Example, Mercedes in front, Red Bull behind them. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, Red Bull, because they're within that 1 second gap. In other words, if you're following a car and you can't pass because you're equivalent on power, right? What they do is the DRS where you can lift the wing, and now you have a lot more. Your car's not outputting more power, but there's no drag. Right. So now you're a lot faster.
Yeah, that's a whole other engineering physicist type of conversation.
Yeah.
Is downforce. Downforce for racing and for cars in general is very, very important to a point if you're pushing a car to its limits.
Yeah.
I would say Formula One cars probably have the ability to give the most downforce per weight considering the weight of the car.
Sick.
Like in theory, I know there's other race cars that can do this. They have so much they can put more downforce than what the actual car weighs.
Right.
Where if it had the ability to drive up a ceiling somewhere at that kind of speeds, it could literally just drive upside down because there's actually more force putting them down
That's true.
where they're touching than the actual weight of the vehicle.
Correct.
So that's how just mind-blowing Formula One can be.
And it's funny because you can see a car track another car, right? In NASCAR, if you think about it, they do drag.
Yeah,
right?
they draft, right? And because that
and
helps.
then it gives them
that
into
helps
the
the airstream.
Yeah. So what they're doing is the exact same thing, and they can engage this wing, and you got to hit a certain spot on the track to engage that wing. So even though you're 1 second behind the car in front of you, right, you can't get it unless you go wide to activate it, and then it's enabled.
Right.
But you lose time engaging it because you're going wide, right? So
Yep.
it's a lot.
So that is
Very cool.
That's interesting.
Very cool technology.
I am a big fan of Formula One. I'm sorry to say I haven't followed Formula One for quite a while, but just busy with other things. I'm a big GT racing fan when it comes to that because once again, road course.
Yep. We talked about this.
And I like Indy racing because Randy does do a little bit, but they also do the oval stuff. But the only race that I'm the most excited about when it comes to oval-ish is the Indy 500.
Yeah.
But that is also the largest racetrack in North America.
Isn't it still left?
It is.
Left?
It is. But it's Indy cars.
Yeah.
There's a history behind Indy that is just.
If you really want to see a true team, watch the Le Mans.
That's just.
24 hours Le Mans.
I have been to a Daytona 24-hour race, so that was kind of cool. And because I've only seen Daytona race with NASCAR.
Yeah.
So and once again, it's a nice big track, but they incorporate a little bit of the road course. They cut a little bit of the back straightaway to have people cut in, and we had like passes to go where we wanted to for the most part. And so we sat in different places. We got to go in the pits a little bit before the race, and that was a lot of fun. But once again, that's GT racing and all that stuff, and that was back when I went to that. That was back when the R8s were really dominating that class.
Oh yeah,
Audi was dominated in general for that matter.
Yep.
But I would still say that's my favorite, and the reason why that's my favorite is because I feel like you're seeing road cars being transferred into a race car.
Yeah.
So like the GT3 Cup cars there are the same. They're to a point. They're the same car as a GT3 road car, and they're put on an assembly line together. And at some point, they are on the same assembly line to be created. And obviously, the Cup car moves off and goes to the racing side of things, and now it gets the racing brakes and the racing suspension. That's going to be a little different than the road car, but they still start. If you look at a Cup car and a lot of those, you see the dash like, it still has a dashboard.
Yeah. They just put a roll cage in it.
Yeah, they got a roll cage. It is pretty stripped out. They go more simplistic on the doors. The panels on the outside are the same, but on the inside, because they don't have the mechanics. There's no roll-up windows.
They don't need to roll down the windows.
Yeah, there's no. Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we can go faster.
Yeah.
But then that's what's really cool. F1's a real close second as far as my favorite.
Yeah, I mean,
so there's not like a big gap
where you would find
like.
anything on an F1 car anywhere in the world of anything.
And I still feel like I don't know what this could be. Who knows what the facts are? They all need to get together and race the same car. But I still feel like
I agree.
The best drivers in the world are F1 cars or F1 drivers.
Yeah,
I feel like they're
their reaction times are so.
I feel like I can do pretty good
quick.
behind the wheel of a car. I don't think I could control an F1 car if my life depended on it.
No.
I mean, obviously, I feel like anybody could have enough training.
Well, true, but you know what?
Everybody comes up from the mechanics and the training, but to drive that car is nothing like driving a road car. Not even remotely close. The acceleration and the braking of that car and the G forces that's able to do.
Yeah, it's not the same.
They're amazing.
It really is different, and that's why they have F3, F2, F1. So there's stages.
That used to be my favorite.
And now they have Formula
video
E.
Game. That used to be my favorite video games back in the day. The earlier PlayStations was F1.
Yeah,
they had those, and then Gran Turismo came along. I
still do it.
I became more of a Gran Turismo fan. So
I love it.
But
you know what? I love FE, and we talked about the electronic cars.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Do we really
Formula
talk about those again?
Is no, we don't. But I think it's cool. But
no, it is. Now they use don't they? Each team has like each driver has two. Or not driver. Is it driver?
Yeah,
it has like
teams.
two cars.
It's teams.
So they have to, instead of like swapping for fuel, they swap a car.
That's true.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't yet though. I've watched one of those, but not all the way through. It was interesting to not have
You need to hang out
the
more often.
They don't have the F1 sound.
Well, no, I mean they have a sound, but it's a high whistle.
It's
That's
not the same.
that's kind of it.
It's not the
I
same.
mean, not the same. Even the F1 cars don't have much of a sound. Besides that,
They absolutely do.
11,000 RPM, just constant.
Yeah, that's fantastic
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Anyways, Formula's great. I do like it.
That's awesome.
Red Bull rocks apparently, and Red Bull, if you're listening,
Yeah,
sponsorship.
And actually, I met a guy across the
this-
street today.
You
be
met a
honest.
guy across the street. Was he holding a sign?
He was with Red Bull.
Oh.
He came up to me because he saw me with my shirt. He goes, "Where'd you get the shirt from?" Did the same thing.
And then you said you stole off the
no,
back
we're,
of
we're working
the
on
manual,
it.
you know.
He
okay.
is with Red Bull Racing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we'll talk about.
Is he gonna
that
drop
later.
a case off for you?
Maybe.
Because you spot it.
Maybe.
Show him the can. Come on, show him. Show him. He's not
No.
just a sponsor of the race car,
That's right.
or not. I'm sorry. He's not just a fan of the race car, but come on, spot the drink. He's a Red Bull drinker
Yeah,
too.
well, yeah, there you go.
That wasn't a Red Bull. That's
And
okay.
then, of course,
That's okay.
Okay, what else we have to go through?
So,
Before we turn things over to our guests.
all righty. Well, you had something you were talking about Ford. What's up with Ford?
That's what I want to know. What is up with Ford?
That's
Because what I read on the news, what's happening in the automotive industry
Okay.
is
Tell us
now
more.
Ford is going to import all cars from China. So in other words, all cars coming from Ford is going through China.
So they're selling cars in China.
They're building them there.
So are they selling? So they're
So now
they're-
not
they're-
only
the
do
ones
you
that are
have
building
to,
there, so they
no.
can sell them there.
Yeah, yeah. So here's how
I'm not following here. Go.
here's how
Explain.
I understand it.
I got it.
Ford is paying China to build the cars, and once they're built, they'll bring them over. So not only are they paying China to build the cars, right? Now we got to pay to bring them back to the United States.
Hold on a second. So what you're referring to is they're not having China build cars for them so they can sell in China. They're having to build.
Correct.
That's where their manufacturing is going to be for their cars.
That's it.
Good old,
Which
old
is a big
American
thing for
Ford.
here in Kansas City, right?
And I think this is the reason why you're bringing this up, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
it's big in Kansas City because we have manufacturing here. They do the
Yep.
F-150.
Yep.
They do the transit vans.
Yep.
And I believe the Transit Connect, the little small ones. I believe they build those here down as well.
They have major plants here in the United States, right? But
I mean, that's just what they have in Kansas City. So, like, pretty much
Yeah.
all the F-150s you see going around come out of Kansas City.
yeah,
But they do all the other cars elsewhere.
right.
Oh, excuse me, sorry. In various plants throughout the United States.
Yeah.
And what you're trying to tell
But
me
now what they're going to do is
they're gonna be doing
everything
those
is
in
in
China.
China.
that's not cool.
No.
That's going to leave a lot
And
of
it's
Kansas
big
City.
in the news, and most people don't know, but, to me, that's just...
Are you sure they just need more plants, so they decide to build them there, and they're still going to
Why
build
would you
cars
go
here?
over there? Why would you even deal with
Cost.
China to begin with?
Cost.
There you go.
It's all about money.
It's all about money. But
all
no,
about
to me, that amazed me that they're moving everything into China.
So everything.
Everything, but build-wise, and then they're going to import back to the United
So
States.
we're going to have an imported American car.
There you go. Well, which I get, right? And we've seen this, right? A
Well,
lot
we've
of
had-
American cars use Chinese parts, whatever.
The parts come from all over.
of course,
for sure.
And I don't
Well,
think I
look
don't mind that.
Well, I mean, look at Toyota.
Yeah,
Japanese car company.
yeah,
None of those parts are more likely coming from here. But guess what?
No.
They built plants here to sell their cars here.
right.
So they're still supporting a lot of American families and jobs because they've got every
Yeah, but I think it's more on
every
the sell
camera,
side.
Corolla, all this stuff that are sold in America are built here. Let me phrase that: assembled here.
Assembled. There's a difference.
But that's still a plant that still houses thousands and thousands.
yeah,
of
but that's
employees.
not where the money's at. The money
I
isn't
get
in
it,
assembly.
but they could assemble everything in Japan and then ship it over.
Sure.
And now America gets none of the money at all.
Well, I don't know how you're getting money anyway when everything is built in China. You're just putting a Ford stamp on it.
That's what I'm getting at. But even Americans make money from Toyota and Nissan because they actually have plants here.
Well, that's probably
They
true.
have assembly plants here. So what I'm getting at is they cause jobs, or they create jobs.
The problem is
So
Ford
that
is
means
not going to have assembly plants here.
Right, which means now they're losing jobs.
They're bringing over fully ready to sell cars
So
from China.
What I'm getting at now is our Japanese car companies are actually going to create more jobs in America than the American car company of Ford.
Right.
What the heck?
Right. Isn't that amazing?
I don't know what to call that.
I don't either.
I'm kind of shell shocked actually about
I know.
that.
I know.
I'm still trying to
I
wrap
read
that
the
around.
article and it blew my mind.
Huh. Well, if you guys know anything more about that, that's interesting to know.
Yeah.
That is food for thought for sure for you Ford fans out there. If you're not a Ford fan, I guess it doesn't concern you one bit.
Well,
Actually, it probably does.
you
Who
know,
knows?
that's where we got to get back to where we just build what we need
I'll
to.
tell you what. Let's talk about something a little bit more.
All right,
on the
what do you wanna
positive.
do?
Let's talk about more on the positive side. World of Wheels.
Oh,
I know we don't need to talk
Yep.
about World of Wheels so much. It's gone, it's happened. It was our kickoff season,
Yep.
big thing, but it was the largest Kansas City World of Wheels was this year of 2023. Over 700
sure.
cars. It took a lot to film that, and it took even more to edit that.
Yep.
And the video is out. It's officially out. But I did hold it back just a couple.
and I got to tell you, that video
Yeah.
is, I mean, it blew my mind. For almost
you.
an hour
Well, thank you.
of video.
It is 56 minutes
yeah.
and 2
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. The coverage of everything was amazing.
I
Even our good friend Will called it out. I mean, he saw it
Yeah.
and he called it out. I mean, the editing, everything.
He
Just
made
the way he put it
Will,
together.
Will, thank you,
Yeah.
Will from Will's Wheels. He's also on YouTube, so check him out.
Yep.
But he made a very awesome, like, small paragraph comment about that
Yep.
whole video, and he understands. what
And it
goes
was
into
legit.
He understands what goes.
It was a good
is.
comment.
It really was.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. So check out the World of Wheels video for this year's World of Wheels. And look at the comments. Leave your own comment too, actually. And the thing is, it was going to take a long time to edit, no matter what.
Well,
But
that's why it takes so much.
I did kind of hold it back, maybe an episode or two, because
Yeah.
I saw how many numbers that we had on Craving Cars on YouTube. World of Wheels was the 200th upload.
Yeah.
Happy 200 videos.
Woo!
Actually, now we're at 201 with the
That's
rigs
true.
and roast now, but
Yep.
and many more of those that come. We're up to date when it comes to any current event of this year. We've got everything out as far as that goes.
Yep.
But yeah, 200th video, World of Wheels. It was awesome, which is the reason why I decided to still make it a little long. And I probably, if I would have incorporated every car, it would have been another 40, 50 plus minutes longer.
I'm surprised you did it in an hour.
I am too, to one point, because I like to make long shows like that.
Yeah.
Within under 40 minutes, 30
Yeah.
something minutes or
Yeah.
less. Because I look at that's an episode. It's a big full episode. And I thought I'll get this down to the 30 minutes. Under 40. 30
To an
minutes,
hour.
30 minutes went in. I'm like, it's going to be 40.
To an
It's
hour.
going to be 40 minutes.
There you go.
About 40 hit. I'm like, it'd be 45 to 50.
Yeah, yeah.
Then 50 hit. I'm like, oh my goodness. I couldn't make it in the
Well,
video.
you know what I found was
couldn't make it a
cool
video.
was when you do watch the whole video, and I think you have to watch the whole video because there's parts in it that are small snippets that you wouldn't think you would see. In other words, there might be 10 minutes of you walking around cars,
Yeah.
but then there's breaks
Yep.
that you wouldn't expect to see, right?
I
We did a couple on it.
Yes, right. That's
So-
right. I don't like to try to make it too repetitious.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got to kind of shake it up a little bit.
For an hour, how can you not? Right?
Yeah,
But,
and there's definitely many times in there that there is dialogue. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
just car after
Yeah.
car after car after car.
I
There
think
there
that
is dialogue.
breaks it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
For
yes,
that long of a video.
And yes, just in case you want to see Mr. Rook's wonderful face, he's in it for a short period of time. You were going through a little bit of an injury recovery, so you couldn't stay. The entire weekend.
I was hurting pretty
but
bad.
that's okay. That's okay. We have Mr. We talk about vans.
We did a couple
There was
vans.
other vans there, too.
I don't want to
So,
give too much away. Just
watch the
check
video.
out the video.
Watch the
but
video.
I
It's
would
great.
say, even though it's an hour long, 56 minutes ish,
In 2 seconds.
you got to watch the whole video because you'll see things that if you think it's the same video for all 56 minutes, it's not.
It's not. It's not. It's
There's
not,
highlights, commentary throughout it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
edited the same throughout the whole
Yep.
thing either.
Because
it's-
you have
it's
to
one of
do
those
that
things.
for 56 minutes.
Oh my god, I can't. At one point, I was thinking, am I even gonna get this under an hour?
Yeah.
And I was like, do I break this up and do a part 1, part 2? I don't really like to do that.
I thought you covered it well.
I've done it in the past.
Yeah.
I'd rather keep one video per event.
And to be honest, I didn't even remember some of the footage when we're together.
Well, then the good.
Like I
there you
forgot
go.
that we even shot it.
If you already went to World Wheels thinking you saw everything, get a good recap.
Yep.
Watch the video.
Yep.
There it is. And if you haven't, then you can go watch it for the first time.
Yep. Like,
But
subscribe.
there is a lot. There's a lot that it takes to go from start to finish on a video.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to get into that?
No, we'll cover it at the end of the show.
We'll go back into that because what are we doing now? We got to introduce somebody awesome.
We do. We have our guest coming on here in a
Chris,
few minutes. So
yes. Are we time for? Is that time for that?
I think it is.
That's it. All right, Chris. What do we have? Who's with us today? Be kind. Rewind. The whole show has been silent.
What?
How about this? Are we still recording the audio?
We are doing the whole show. So the playback is good.
So the playback is good. Okay, guys. We do apologize.
Oh,
So
they can hear us now.
all
so
of our awesome
thanks, Denny.
stuff you've been missing, and
Oh, my goodness.
you're gonna have
Let's
to just
start
go back.
over.
Everybody's gonna have to go back to Craving Cars on YouTube and rewatch the upload,
You know what? Honestly, we apologize.
or just watch the upload.
Yeah.
It's not a rewatch.
Yeah.
Just watch the upload. Sorry.
We can do.
For all 3 of you that are listening in. Sorry, I'm kidding. There's like 4,
No.
maybe 5.
Maybe 5.
I'm kidding.
But it was recorded. So,
Will, we were just talking about you too.
yeah, we were.
About,
So-
about World of Wheels. Can you do me a favor real quick, Will? How many parts were there to your videos again? 6, I think? 6 or 7? And how long were they a piece? I'm curious. Because Will does full walkthroughs, so he doesn't miss anybody that he can help. And he'll go and put the whole thing. So if it's really
Right.
long, he breaks it up.
Right.
He breaks it up.
Right.
So, yes, keep Craving, Sean. Appreciate you. All righty. Yes, that was.
Well, the good thing is we got rid of the troubles before we brought on the guests.
Yes, we did.
Doing
Yes,
such
we
a
did.
great job.
Hey, we were just recapping. We were talking about like workflows of shooting videos, like
Yep.
what we do when we go to events and stuff. Now, granted, live there may not be so much editing because this is going to be an interesting video for everybody to watch.
Well, because when we upload the right one, it works fine. So
Yeah.
it is the light part. But, we're going to continue this show all night long.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Why not?
We got a
Why
lot
not?
to cover, but we do need to bring on our guests.
Well, okay, we're gonna bring a guest, so we can get into to workflows of shooting videos. You guys more interested in that? Let us know because we got a lot to talk about on that
That's right.
and things of that sort. But we have a guest.
Couple.
We do actually. And matter of fact, Mr. Ruck, let's move that right over to you. Who do we got?
We have Kids in Cars. We have the CEO, Trey, in the house. What's up, Trey? Say hi, buddy.
Hi.
Hi. We have Paul in the house, and we have Cassie in the house as well. So,
Great to be here.
yeah, you having a good time, Trey?
Yep.
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 Well, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you.
Absolutely.
What shirt you have on there? You have the Mod Squad shirt.
Yep.
Oh,
And
those guys support you.
what's on
And
Yeah, Mob Squad's good.
what's on the back?
and the Kids in Cars.
Ah,
All right.
your foundation. There you go.
Yep,
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And we also do a lot of puzzles, with moving around stuff and all that.
That's awesome. We're excited to have you
we are.
here for sure.
Yep. We got a couple that's already said hi to Trey.
What's up, Trey?
Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
All right.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about Kids and Cars.
Well, Kids in Cars, first off, it's been like the popular. When I say popular, that means so many people have been on our channel a lot of times. And when I say a lot, that means a lot. And I don't know how many, but it's a lot of numbers going up and up every single time.
That's awesome. So your numbers are going up and up, right?
Yep,
You're growing.
yep. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I got cut out of my interview.
Trey wants to be on the mic. You don't care anymore. Whatever. Sell it, Trey. You do your thing.
Hey Trey, what's your favorite YouTube channel? What's your favorite car channel? Your favorite YouTube car channel?
Well, there's a lot of car channels. I like the Kids in Cars one because it's been so weird and so popular for so many days and weeks.
Oh, that's awesome. So you happy?
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of cars that you're driving, right? A lot of Power Wheels that you're bringing out to car shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
You,
one?
you met a lot of friends doing all that, right?
Yeah. We went up a bit, but the wave of it starts to get growing.
There you go. That's
That's all about.
Yeah.
that's all it's about is keep growing and growing.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
being popular.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you have a favorite car of yours?
The SRT10. It's so fast.
I've
Nice.
seen your SRT10.
Yeah.
Nice.
That thing's. I know your dad has to drive it, but I know it's yours.
Well,
It's been
when he can reach the pedals.
Which
It'll
should
be-
be about 20 years from now, but
Yeah,
that's all
it'll be
right.
different.
That's all right.
Yeah. We'll put some blocks on it for you. That way you can reach the pedals and drive
There you
it.
go.
You want to drive the SRT10?
That's right. Anybody have a question for Trey real quick? Anybody got their Kids and Cars is on YouTube? Yes, they are. And they're part of the Mod Squad community. And they're a great sponsor of ours as well. So
Yes, they are.
you can always figure out how to get a hold of them. We'll go into more of the what is Craving Cars and Kids and Cars, go into where we met, how do we grow, that type of thing. So stand by. We just want to give the CEO a little few minutes, give his shout out to everybody. You got anything else you want to say, Trey?
Well, first off, there's been a huge Facebook. If you type in kidsinCars.com,
KC.
KCCars.com.
KidsandCarsKC.com. I got it for you. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so when you go to there, it shows you all of our websites and of our videos, and usually if you go on it shows you all pictures and all that kind of stuff. And so
That's right.
go to
Great
there.
job. Anything
good?
else you want to add?
Well, the way is
Keep going, Trey. Keep
you
going.
go.
There you go.
You go, boy.
it just keeps growing as we get more and more and more.
Go on.
It just keeps
You have
going.
to scroll all
There
the way
you go.
down and see all
That's
of them,
right.
don't you?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
right.
It takes
yeah.
a while.
Yeah. It takes about like 20 years to
20 years?
since,
That'd take longer than you're alive.
yeah.
How are we going to do that?
Well, they come to the car shows. If
Okay.
anybody comes to car shows, are the guys, and usually we didn't do this until now. I did not know we were doing this.
Really?
Well, great job.
I think
job, buddy.
Great job, buddy, for sure.
I think we have a suggestion that we need to make Trey our new public relations
Official sponsor.
Oh, you wanna-
think?
and
Thank you, listening.
Sean wants to pick with Trey and the Rat Rod.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness!
If you don't know what Rat Rod we're talking about, we
Yeah.
were discussing
we
it a
know
little bit
Sean
earlier.
very well.
It's check out Craving Cars on
help me?
Facebook and Instagram. The pictures are
Yep.
it just got put up there a couple days ago, so you'll see which one.
Yeah.
You'll see which one we're talking about. We were hanging out together with the studio, with the
Yeah.
mobile studio
Yeah.
apocalypse van.
Yep.
As we'll come up with a better
yeah.
name for that one day.
I saw the disco lights on the inside, so
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, it's so cool.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
And Sean brought his son out, and it was.
yeah.
I mean, it was great just to hang out.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yep.
that thing
Yep,
is
that's really-
really
and
unique.
Good kid.
he is like the epitome of what we're trying to do. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah,
he-
if you have a 12, keep it like keep going, keep
yeah.
going.
You know, we
Keep
love.
doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Okay, give that a second. Just, you know, like talking with Sean and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
The whole thing about kids and cars, you know, and like when we started and everything about that was to make more community and family friendly events, bringing the kids out, mainly because, you know, well, me and Chris were running around a bit. I met Corey through Chris throughout the years. And then, somebody's heavily breathing here.
It's Chris.
Yeah. And then we started just kind of talking a little bit more about you know, how do we get the kids to come out more? How do we make them feel more included?
Yep.
How do we get these guys to you know, become more interactive? The car community always gets such a bad rap throughout the cities and everywhere I've been. you
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
Yeah. We've discussed this
Miami,
before as well. But yeah.
Florida, I mean, Texas, all that. I mean,
Right.
normally we always are having to deal with the
Well, and that's
The
a good point to
police
talk
and
about,
all
right?
that.
I mean, obviously, the reason why you do it, right, is with children that have disabilities, right? I mean, that's
well, it's all
really
children,
about it.
But we do,
Yeah.
we specialize with the children.
Yep.
We love all children to come out. We always want that next generation. We of course, Trey had a rough start, so he's actually has cerebral palsy.
Yep.
So he's a little bit delayed. And, you know, it was just one of those things is, you know, what we were finding is, and you can hear this a lot with families with disabilities, the inclusion part gets really difficult.
Yeah.
What we found was, you know, we don't get the birthday invites. We don't get a lot of that stuff. You know, usually we're the ones going, okay, everybody got an invite but us.
Yeah.
And I get it. When you have a disabled child, people get scared. And that's why we're always kind of going with the inclusion of all children, especially kids with disabilities, to have that inclusion, to make them feel a part of something.
Yep.
Because, you know, these kids, and most of them are so great that I've met.
Yeah.
And all they want to do is be a part of it.
That's
They
it.
just want to be
you go.
around us.
Yep.
Like just last summer, we did the Special Olympics. You guys were on Red Line, but we did the Special Olympics show. And it was just amazing. All the kids were coming out. And, of course, we had Tim with Special Aid to Delivery.
Yep.
Big supporter of ours and Craving Cars.
Yes. Yes, he is.
He was out there, and I mean, the interactions that we were having with all the Special Olympics students was amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of funny talking to the organizers. They said, normally we only get 60, 70 cars out here. Last year, we started promoting it earlier, and we had almost 180 cars out there.
Yeah.
And that was the biggest I've ever seen. And we raised great money for the Rangers, which is the Special Olympics of Johnson County Club,
Yep.
for the Special Olympics. So it's just one of those things. And then, of course, we do a lot with law enforcement. We usually will pursue shows with law enforcement involved.
Yeah, we've dealt with that a couple times, right? I mean, we're always either veterans, law enforcement,
enforcement,
Yep.
something,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Military, things like that.
Yep.
And, you know, my father was law enforcement growing up.
Yep.
So I always have a kind of a little heart, special place for that. But yeah, that's why, you know, we started doing the Latham West show, which is actually coming around the corner here in a second, where we've been doing that show for 3 or 4 years now when they started it.
Yeah.
And so we're really looking forward to that. I think that is on the 6th of next month.
Yeah.
May 6th next month. So that will be a great show. We will be posting that show tonight on Kids and Cars. So always, come a part of it. You can always just go to kidsandcarskc.com. That will direct us to our Facebook page.
Yep.
That is our number one way we communicate with our members.
Yeah.
So always get on there. We do a ton of shows. I think we did 57 shows last summer.
That's a lot of shows.
And that wasn't including meets.
No, and I agree. We teamed up a lot last year, right? And we thought this year we're just getting into
We're
it.
just starting now.
Yeah, we're just starting, and there's so much interest, right?
yeah,
But
I mean-
I think the main part is how do we let people know how to contact you?
Well, always the most important thing is to get on the Facebook group.
Yep.
That is our easiest way to contact us.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm as an admin there, so always just looking for my SRT. I
Yep.
don't usually do.
Yep. And we're going to get into that thing here in a few minutes.
Oh yeah, can't wait for that.
Yeah.
we got to dive into the cars. At some
Yeah,
point,
we
right?
got we got to.
And then, so we just been doing that. I mean, we got some great shows coming up. Of course, we'll be teaming up with you guys for all the
Yep.
Streetcar
Takeover,
Oh,
imports,
yes.
IFOs,
KC Showdown, all kinds of stuff. So.
And we always love Denny and those guys.
Yep.
Stacy, Denny, that whole No Love Car crew. Oh man, we met those guys years ago.
Yeah.
But man, this last year we have really their support to have more kids come out, more activities for kids to come out.
I've seen them do like bounce houses.
Oh yeah,
and they got,
did great.
Yeah.
We're we do a lot of the tracks and the Power Wheels racing and all that, and we'd love to grow into a more of a bigger organization where we could provide more activities for the kids out there. Between that and when we did our test run last year on a show where we had all kids voting.
Right.
And it was just a different kind of a way of doing things.
Yeah.
The grown-ups aren't going around. Us car guys aren't going around bashing each other on voting. You've seen that before, don't lie.
Yeah. We'll get into that aspect of it real quick.
That's a whole nother episode.
This show's going to go probably till 9 o'clock, but how that works.
But it's just one of those things that we're getting going. We took off last year. It grew faster than we could even think of. And then, of course, we ended up getting insurance for the club, getting the tax ID,
getting the 501(c)(3), right? Yeah, that's great, right?
501(c)(3).
So it is great. So anybody donating, it's a tax deductible offer, right?
Yes.
So please check them out. I mean, that's going to be a great thing. Don't forget, every car show that you're involved with, because we've teamed up with you guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Streetcar Takeover, Import Face Off, KC Showdowns, any major events you guys are coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Just check out the whole vendor area. I mean, it's going to be a great thing for sure. Upcoming schedule shows, I know there's a lot, right? So anything specific you want to cover over the next couple weeks?
I definitely want the Olathe West show to be covered because Olathe West is going to be, that show has actually turned into kind of an amazing show.
Okay.
Chris, you came out with me last year. They land helicopters out there. They have tanks out there. And they let the kids get into stuff.
Yep.
And check it all out and get into a helicopter and stuff. And then, of course, all the just camaraderie between the fire and police departments. That don't get me wrong. Police department, fire department, those guys kind of, they talk a little.
Oh,
They sound like car guys when you're out with them.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know. We did the same thing when we were doing the exotic show. It was like the cops were like, I just want to check out the car.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They would show up like we're all at a gas station. There's a bunch of cars and they'd probably never have more than 5 cars in a parking lot at once. And now they got 35 cars there. And the cops show up and go, uh-oh, did someone like do something? They're like, nope, we just want to see the cars. And they were like, no, rev them. And we're like, wait, whoa. Is this a trap?
Yeah.
But no, then they'd give us a little cool escort and hold the lights for
and
us, and
I was
they just
thinking-
wanted to see the cars.
Well, I think it was kind of funny.
So
because
what's your next Kids and Cars event? Sean wants to know.
my
Because if
next-
you haven't
my
met
next
Sean's son, he's very excited
Oh,
about
yeah,
all
yeah.
kind of
That's-
car
yeah.
things. So.
Well, our next event's going to be the
was it the May
Street-
6th?
no
Oh, no.
Showdown.
Well, yeah, we have the
Showdown up at the
KC
Legends.
Showdown. Yep.
up at the Legends.
Yep.
I think he changed it to the Legends. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yep,
It is
yep.
at the Legends.
At the old
Monarchs.
T-Bones,
Yep.
Monarch Stadium.
which is now the
Yeah,
Monarchs.
the old Monarch. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, old T-Bones.
Old
now
T-Bones. Now
Monarchs.
it's not.
Yep.
Now it's the Monarchs. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's
Yeah,
April 30th.
Yep.
So that's only a couple weeks away. So that,
In case you guys don't know what we're looking at, we're looking at Cassie just writing stuff on the board. So,
You're hired.
yeah, that's right. Be our note taker. But no, it is a legit 501c3,
Yes,
right?
we're-
So please take
we're
advantage.
not for profit.
Yeah,
That-
and help support.
Yeah, and we just like to get this growing. There's actually
What's-
a lot more that we want to do in the future.
What's
Yeah.
what's some of the
You
best
know.
things that people can do to help you grow or to help be part of Kids and Cars?
The main thing is we like. Well, one, coming out and supporting us.
Yep.
That's always the biggest. That's
Okay.
my number one. Bringing the kids out, getting
Yeah.
the people out. Beyond that, everything is just kind of gravy on top. It will help us keep going and growing to bring more kids out. So sponsorships, all that we are working on. We do give outs and giveaways when we do car shows.
Yeah.
Most people know that if they come up to our area, you end up leaving them with a little goodie bag.
Yeah.
What's the best way for someone to become a sponsor of Kids and Cars?
The best way
what do they
is
gotta
to
do?
get on the Kids and Cars, KC.com. That will direct you to my Facebook page, and then just shoot me a message. The beauty about our program is we have all sorts of different levels and things we can do, and we
Yeah.
can pretty much custom do your advertising.
Yeah.
So I got guys that all they want to do is do the give outs. Well, that's great. We'll throw your stuff in the bag and do that. Then I got other guys going, hey, I want to do signage. I want to help out with that. And then I got other companies going, hey, what is it going to take us to get flags and so we're trying to cater to all sorts of, you don't have to be the big company. You don't have to be the small company. You don't have to be a certain size or a certain dollar amount. And even that, you can just come out, buy a T-shirt,
Yeah.
and that helps amazingly.
Kids and Cars T-shirt.
Dude,
What's a Kids and Cars T-shirt run you at a show?
Yeah, usually we just do $20.
$20.
Yeah.
There we go.
And we
Yeah.
usually try to always carry a lot of kid sizes due to it's been kind of nice because I get
Yep.
some parents that go, oh, man, it's
Yeah.
blazing hot out
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I dressed my kid in black. And we're trying to find a tent all day. Well, so I get it. And we usually have supplies and stuff for parents.
Yeah.
Right.
So any parent that comes by and they need a little help, just ask. Just come up and talk to us.
Yeah.
Because we're always there. We always have wet wipes and extra stuff always around. We always stock.
You and
We
Cassie
always-
have always been
Oh, yeah.
awesome. You always
Oh,
have
yeah.
waters, sodas, all
Dog
kinds
drinks.
of stuff available. Not just selling it, but I mean, if you needed it, you just hand it out.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Yep.
We do, and that's the thing is we're not, believe it or not, we're not doing this for money.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
doing this to promote and bringing more children out and get them involved.
And somehow we got involved in what we do at some point when we grew up to be kids to be where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And all you're trying to do is just keep that generation. Don't have too big of a gap in between. Let's get the very next generation up
Right.
and growing,
Right.
and into where we're at.
and
And then actually not only that, the 2 generations even from now, for that matter.
Just like we were talking earlier that nobody heard about the F1 conversation about the new generations coming in F1.
Yep.
It's got to happen.
Way to establish,
throughout.
Paul, about not having sound
Right.
earlier.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
appreciate that.
No, I'm giving a teaser bite so everybody comes back and watches the video later.
right.
Come on.
We talked about some
There you
really
go.
good stuff.
We
guys.
talked about some good stuff.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
Jay's going to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. You know what? And that's great because honestly, I mean, we're at the top of the hour with the original show.
Joey.
But you know
Yep.
what? I think we've got a
Bingo.
lot to cover still.
know.
We do.
And we can keep rolling because we're not on a time limit because
No, we're
we have
not.
an open channel.
It's our
So,
studio, dagnabbit.
and now it's time for the, that Trey,
Hey, real-
amazing job for Trey.
Thank you, Trey. All right.
He is
Yeah.
a promotions genius, isn't
Now
he?
we've had a couple of people talk about scheduling real quick. I know we just talked about
Yep.
if where can they go if anybody needs to see where Kids and Cars are going to be on the 2023 schedule? Do you have a schedule on?
We always post the schedule on our Facebook.
Okay, perfect.
So it's always a running schedule. I usually always will post things, and then usually about a week before I'll repost, just to give it that update that this is coming
Right.
up.
Okay.
Because we actually are booked. We got shows all the way through October, November.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm already
There we go.
booked
There we go.
for
So
most of that stuff.
So
already.
stay tuned or keep up with Kids and Cars on their Facebook
Yep.
page.
That's the best
And
one.
that's
And Mod Squad.
and
Mod
that's
Squad.
and that's
'Cause
best
we're
to get a hold of
partners,
you for
so-
sponsorships and
Yes.
to check out scheduling and things of that sort.
Yeah,
Yep.
and if anybody has
Great.
a show or a private event that they want the kids area at, that is not a problem. Just get a hold of me because we have been doing some special events to bring out the kids area, and usually we bring out a couple cars, but nothing too major. That's been kind of really helping us grow a little bit to get more into the corporate side of the car world and the advertising world. It just kind of gets. The thing is with us is we do get pretty busy, so try to get a hold of me earlier than later. You know, the last minute show thing is kind of gonna have to go to the
Yeah,
other
we
side.
yeah, and I agree. To be honest, I mean, all last year we kind of did a lot of
my-
last minute things. So
We were getting hit up every 5 minutes.
yeah. So it's a
Tomorrow?
big thing. So
But
yeah,
no.
that's true.
But you know, we're growing, and we're gonna get there, and we want to grow, and we're also working with SOAR special needs. We've been working with a lot of different groups, and I like to try to incorporate that into the car scene and car world, kind of
Yeah.
like with the car thing you guys just covered.
Yeah.
Geeks for Kids.
Yep.
Another one of those things. There's so many of these great groups, but they just not too many people know about.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting to me because they're coming to me going, well, how does everybody know and hear about you guys?
Right. And not all that. Here's the thing: we found this out on some charity type of stuff that we hear through the grapevine, and actually most of the stuff we are hearing through the car community, which is how awesome the car community is in general. But they don't necessarily have a big social media following.
Right.
Anywhere, whether you find them on, and they may be on Facebook or Instagram or something of that sort, but they haven't posted in a long time, or it's so rare when they got, so they don't really have the following behind it. So with what Chris and I and yourself and what we're trying to do is kind of like bring that awareness.
Yeah,
you know,
and
you know,
the
with
thing
like
is,
that.
We do have such a great car community that does
Yeah.
so much great work that we need to get
Absolutely.
to shine on that.
Yeah.
Definitely. And the thing is that car community can help. You know, when we start bringing out clubs and stuff like that, it's amazing what we can do. You know, because like Soars, they were doing a toy drive. So we went up to Gateway. We did a toy drive for Soars. And, you know, we loaded a pickup truck full of toys for kids
Yeah.
with disabilities.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of one of those things that, you know, and you know how many toy drives and everything else we do every year.
Oh,
So,
for sure.
You know, so and we're always about that. It's just bringing in the next generation, you know, so that our kids can kind of enjoy the community,
Yep.
you know. And to me, yes, cars are what we all love, but the whole big thing about it is the community.
Yeah.
If we can
Yeah.
grow the community and have a strong community bond in the car scene, I don't think there's anything that the car world could, you know, we can tackle almost anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
we
anything
Probably
gets
anything
our
they
way.
can
Yeah, we
accomplish,
always
you know.
do that big plug for sure. I mean, it's not. It you just can't do it on your own. So
Oh no, and it's
Yeah.
it's a community.
Yep. It's
You know.
everybody basically needs to come together for any one big particular thing to happen, you know, and we've seen it. We've
yeah.
seen it happen multiple
yeah.
times around here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it can happen, you know. I guess the public, and that's one thing that we try to do as well, Chris, is the fact of that we're making sure the public understands when there's
Did you
that
say
one.
Chris's?
No,
Is there two
are
of
you
me?
are you not plural? I guess we're talking
I should
singular
be.
over here.
I should be
He's-
plural.
he- so
there you go.
maybe it was apostrophe. Yes.
Yeah, well, that's probably
That's
true.
it. That's it.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
probably true.
That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
was. Now,
Yeah,
that's one of the things when the public hears that one particular individual that just does something that isn't something they need to be doing, especially in public,
Yeah.
or around people, or just whatever they're doing isn't right.
All right. Well, you know what?
It's that's what they need to stop and don't think that the entire car
Yeah.
community does that.
No,
so
that's
that's
true.
it.
No,
that's
no,
all I was
that's
trying
true.
to say,
And
but
that-
I
and
just had a
that's
hard time
why,
saying it.
You know, when me and Chris, when I first came up with it, the whole kids and cars idea, it was literally Trey sitting in the back of my truck
Yep.
playing cars while me and these yahoos,
Spending donuts to do nothing.
we're
Yeah.
all kind of talking around and talking. And
Yeah.
then me and Chris got together one time, and I just said, you know,
Yep.
I wish we had our car club for our kids.
Yep.
And then, boom, kids and cars started.
Yep.
Here, real quick. We did not get into it. I usually like to start with it. I don't want to forget it because we do not talk about cars of our guests. So, guests,
Let's get
Mr.
into
Paul.
it. Yeah.
What do you drive? What's your car? What do you have?
We are going to get into the adult side of the conversation.
The
Just
adult side.
let's
rid of
figure
the
out
kids.
what it is. I know what it is, but to me, it's sick. To be honest. So tell us about it, Paul. What do you got?
What you got?
I got the basically Dodge on cocaine.
Dodge on cocaine. I like that already. Already, that sounds good, right?
I got the SRT Ram 1500
Quad cab.
SRT 10 quad cab. They did make them in a single cab with a stick shift. I had the automatic. I wanted to actually be able to tow something if I had to with it.
Yep.
Where the sticks you can't. But then it still has that nice 8.3 liter Viper V10.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what? So what was
That's-
the reason? What was the reason they didn't put the manual in a quad? Is it because of the transmission?
You couldn't tow.
Yeah.
You couldn't tow
okay.
with it. That's why they had to get rid of. That's
Yeah.
why. Basically, what happened the first year they came out with the single cabs with the sticks. The guys, the feedback on it was they were all pissed because you weren't allowed to tow with it. Their whole idea to buy the truck was they were going to tow their Viper out with their
Yeah.
Viper truck.
Yeah.
So then the second year they came out with the quad cabs.
So that's one of the mistakes that Ford made with the Lightning. I'm not talking about the EV.
No,
The
the
Ford
original
Lightning,
Lightning.
the real Lightning.
Yeah.
You weren't you can't tow with that either.
can't
It's
tow with that
basically a
either.
racing
No,
transmission
no.
that was in
Yep.
that you couldn't
can't
could
tow.
tow more than the weight of the truck it was.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Nope. I think it was like on a lot of
So
these
I
were
didn't-
like
I didn't-
500 pounds.
I didn't realize the yeah.
It's like, really?
You can put a couple lunch boxes in the
Yeah,
back.
that's
I got my
it.
cooler of,
Yeah,
of
they'll
beer.
tow
I
it.
mean, I've had a couple of dates way more than that.
But I didn't realize that Dodge made the original SRT 10s. I didn't realize they weren't towable. So I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah. The sticks were not.
So now what's the rating of yours? What's the power rating of yours? Like actually what year is yours?
Well, they only made them in 2004, 5, and 6. So
Okay,
mine's
4, 5, and 6. Okay.
Okay, in 2004 were only single cabs.
Okay.
So 2005 is what mine is, and mine's a very low numbered one. So so it's kind of one of those things. It's one of the lowest quad cabs that came off the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to figure out how low it is, but yeah.
How low it is?
Yeah.
How low it really is?
Yeah, that's the
you go.
debate that I have with Dodge right now.
With the vehicle only made for 3 years, you're not going to see a whole lot of those.
No,
and
no.
I don't see hardly any of those.
They only made 5,000.
Yeah.
And the last report was we just got under 3,000 left. And I hear they're getting shipped out a lot now to overseas.
That doesn't surprise me because there's a big following, even in places in Europe too, that they've got a lot of our classic cars out there
Yeah.
that they're shipping out. And some people are mad about that, and some people are like, oh, "What would it do?" But you're right. I mean, because that wasn't a car that was shipped. That was an American only sold vehicle, isn't it?
Well, produced in Mexico, but American sold. Yes.
Okay. Or North America sold. How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
What, you can buy in Mexico?
Well,
Well,
not,
I'm
not,
sure
not
they-
anymore.
well,
A used one.
Not anymore.
Maybe throw in the
A
cartel.
used one. There you go. All right. Well, there you go.
There's a well. That's very cool. What would you know? What power rating is on that? What it was stock when you got it?
Off crank, it's 505. 505 horsepower.
505.
Which seems low when
What-
you think
was it-
about it. But back in the day, that was
right.
hot.
That's what it was. I mean, when
Yeah.
the Viper, some people don't realize when the Viper first came out, it was only 400 horsepower.
Yeah,
with
but
the
the
V10.
first ones.
The very first
the
Vipers in the
8.0s.
90s, yep.
Yeah, they weren't making that much horsepower. And then the other classic is.
I think it was more the
course, a lot of-
branding. It's a Viper.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was
I'm
more
sorry.
about the branding.
You
of
open
it.
that hood up in his truck, and there it is,
Yeah.
the V10. It says Viper on it too, doesn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah, it
straight up.
does.
It's straight up. They like, we're about to put it in one of the cars. Like, well, no. The truck is ready. We got to put it in the
yeah.
truck, and they just didn't even. They didn't do its own
And there's
engine cover.
still
Nothing.
so much room in that truck.
Well, and then-
even with the V10.
It's not exactly a
But the
small
classic
truck.
is
Yeah.
no power, no traction control. There's none of that.
Yeah.
It
No,
is
it's raw.
straight
Which is
raw
what the
motor.
original Vipers
It's-
were, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
yeah.
you hold on. That's what we're doing.
Oh, yeah.
A raw beast.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
I
an
mean-
it's a 11Z creator to the max,
Yeah.
as in Bernard's.
death trap.
11Zs, yeah.
I mean, you better know how to drive it.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that's one thing I get a lot of kids ask me is like, oh yeah, this would be great to own. I'm like, if you know how to drive, you know.
Yeah.
You want
Yeah,
to
there's
be
none of that.
conservative with this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
you
There's
know?
no traction control.
There's no nothing.
No stability control.
No,
I'm
nothing.
assuming it's at least being a 05. It at least has ABS, maybe.
Yeah, but
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
good
you
now.
turn that
only
off.
on the front.
But that has nothing to do with
Only on the
that
front.
has nothing to do with the
right.
accelerator pedal, though.
No,
does
no,
it?
no, no, no.
No.
The gas
for
still
sure.
goes down, and the gas tank goes down.
Yeah. Well, son, let me show you how you see the gas.
Gauge move.
That's
she's,
very true.
she's not known
Where
for
you
great
heading?
gas
To the
mileage.
tire store. Why? Because by the time we get there, we're going to
Smoke
need
'em
new
off.
tires.
I was with him at the Heartland Motorsport, right? At
in
the
one face-off.
track, and he just lit him up.
Did,
I mean,
they do a,
everybody
did
was
you do a
filming
burnout
this truck.
contest with it?
He did, and he
Load
won
it
it.
up.
Well, why?
I mean,
He-
I don't think
How,
we had
okay,
2
how
minutes
much
for
torque?
it.
How much torque is in that thing? Out of that V10?
489, I think. It
Okay.
is.
Enough to burn him off because he sit there
Plenty.
and just rolled it.
Plenty.
Yeah, oh, no, yeah,
Well, he
like-
took first place.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
won it.
That's
that's what takes you. That's
Well,
what takes
it,
you.
it,
they
it does
say
burn out some stereo, though.
Well, they told me I
That's true.
smoked out an 8th mile, and they said the stands were like even with smoke.
Yeah.
They were like, thank God people weren't up in that. No, sorry.
No, you're right. Tell her
It's
to
live.
quit calling.
It's
No.
live. What are you going to do?
It's actually another car club guy. I get hit up with car club guys all the time. But it's just one of those things, and he should know I'm on the air right now.
That's right. Should be paying attention.
It's what it is. What are you going to do?
Yeah, we only have like 10-second delay.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool truck, man.
Yeah,
For sure.
And we have a lot of fun with it. And actually, that's not the first vehicle we started was a 73 Camaro, is actually what we went out the first year with. Oh. But we were just kind of.
Before I knew you,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But we ran about 2-3 years ago, we were running the Camaro. And Trey was a little bit younger. And we were just having it's kind of a pain to get him out and
Yeah.
in and out of the back.
Quad cab
We-
makes sense.
You know, well, that.
And then throw a Viper motor in it.
Yeah, you know.
Let's make it family oriented.
Let's spice it up a little.
Spice.
Make it a bit of
Well, look,
spice.
I'm old enough. I remember when they came out on the showroom floor. The
Oh,
Ram.
believe me, I loved them when they first came out.
Yep,
I
me too.
wanted one so bad.
Yeah.
I just kind of was like, they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They
That's
did.
usually what it
You don't
is.
have to be a truck
Yeah.
guy to go, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, that's badass. I mean, kind of
sure.
when they came out with it, when Ford came out with the Lightning trucks, and then Dodge came out with this, it's like, okay, goodbye, Ford.
Sorry,
yeah,
Lightning trucks.
good job.
Your
Good job.
380
Yeah.
But
Your
if you think
380
about it,
horsepower is not
we
doing
did
too
not.
good now.
The SRT did not beat the Cyclone though.
Well, the Cyclone's very light. Yours is a
Oh,
full
good
size.
God.
You're right.
truck.
The Cyclone was like a mid-sized truck, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like
oh,
compact
yeah,
truck,
yeah.
It's
whatever
got
it
a
was.
6-cylinder in it, a V6.
But
Yeah.
it's turboed, man.
Yeah, but it with no
Probably one of
capacity
the
at
bigger
all.
turbos to ever in a production
And let's
car.
think about it. That's another vehicle. How often do you see those come out?
Oh, much more rare than
I've
yours.
seen
Actually.
Yeah.
once, maybe twice.
Yeah,
You know, in my life.
yeah.
I actually got to do a double take sometimes. When you see one because you're like, is that one? Do they just make their truck look like one?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you know what? I came up on one the other day, and it looked. I mean, short bed, everything. It looked like a Lightning. When I pulled up, V6. but it looked like a Lightning.
You're the Ford Lightning?
It wasn't labeled that way, right?
It was
But it just,
F-150.
it just said, I don't know what it was, 3 point something V6 on the side. But the body looked like a Lightning, identical.
Well,
know.
they're out
They
there.
didn't know how to fake it.
They're out there.
I know
There
a
you go.
little
I don't
bit
think
about
you can.
fast
I don't
cars.
think you can fake an SRT10.
That
You
we
cannot.
actually.
Well, you can.
I lost a
You
car
can.
show to
Yeah.
one
Yeah, you did.
with a Hemi in it.
Yep.
Oh well, at least
Yeah.
it had a V8. At least.
5.7 Hemi.
It was missing a couple cylinders. Just say, whoops, we had an accident. They actually chopped them off.
But well, that's true.
But
yeah.
but he did like having my body kit on there.
So he had the SRT body. Okay, all righty. Okay.
Yeah, well, except for actually he was missing half of it.
Yeah.
Well,
But
what are you gonna do?
But the problem is, who's gonna know? Me?
We will.
Just you.
We
Just
will.
you. You're the only
I'll
person.
know.
Yeah,
I'll know.
most people don't see them enough to know what they look like.
That's right. Well, I tell you what, Paul, I appreciate you
I
guys
appreciate
coming
you
on the
guys.
show
Absolutely.
for sure.
Awesome stuff, man.
I mean, we're running a little late. We got a couple things we want to do, so we're going to end it with you, if you don't mind. But thank you so much for
Absolutely.
coming on. Thank you for being a sponsor of ours. Everybody, check out Craving Cars and check out Kids in Cars, Facebook.
Yep,
Learn how to
definitely
donate,
Facebook.
sponsor.
And you've got
Contact me.
And you've
if
got
you have any questions.
kidsandcarskc.com as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kids and Cars KC, but that just will divert you to our Facebook
Yep.
page.
There you go.
So the best thing to do is just to get on the Facebook page. That's how we kind of do most of our advertising and stuff.
Yep.
We've been talking about newsletters and stuff like that, but
So
we're still in the beginnings of that.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, obviously, Kids and Cars are always looking to try to get their awareness and all that stuff out there. They're just trying to grow. Possibly looking for sponsorships, and then you can even help them out. Something as little,
Or another
something as
big
low as a
thing.
T-shirt.
Another big
at a show.
thing because I work with Paul and Cassie a lot.
Yep.
Anybody has something they want to get rid of, whether it be old Hot Wheels, tracks, whatever,
Yep.
right?
Okay.
Reach out to them. It's a way of just building up that stable
Yeah, there we
of
go.
what everybody wants to work with. Reach out to them, even if it's stuff that believe me, I have plenty too because of my grandkids. Reach out, just donate it. Hot Wheel tracks, anything in that realm, just do it. I mean, what they do is they set up a unique play area, organized everything, right? They're not babysitters, but it is a play area. You can come, check out, get organized, let the kids be involved with the car show, everything else. So if you do have something, please reach out for sure.
Yes, please do.
yes.
Please
Thank
do.
you.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, Paul.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Trey.
Appreciate it. Hey, Trey. Oh, well, all right. Bye, Trey.
He's sitting outside.
He
right
was there.
now.
He's good.
That's all right. That's cool. All right. Well, we're going to talk for just a few minutes because we got a couple things we want to plug. But
Yeah.
big shout out to everybody that's still hanging on the chat room. We're running
Thank
late
you.
today, but it's a celebration for the 200th
200th
video that
video
you uploaded
for-
to Craving
for
Cars,
Craving Cars. That's right. That's right.
which is
It's
the
very
world of
exciting.
wheels.
World of
Wheels.
wheels. It turns out there was cars attached to most of those wheels.
Yeah.
So that was very cool. I like that.
Some more
right,
than
Trey.
most.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
I had a really short interview a few years back at a World of Wheels show that had and I know you guys more likely know this guy. He was the
If you say Steve, I'm just gonna.
no
Kill the show.
He was the Ricky Bobby the Will impersonator. And he's going around from Talladega Nights.
Oh, yeah.
Talladega. He's always like, "Woo! If you're not first, you're last." You know, that kind of thing.
That guy.
And I put him on there. He's just like, and he mentioned something about it when World of Wheels, and he was just like,
Yeah.
"So there are cars here too, or just wheels?" And I'm just like, well, get out of here. You can see the cars. Come on now.
There you go.
No, it was kind of a funny small little interview, and it's in. Be honest, I don't know how many years it was before COVID. I know that. So there you go. Go check out the 18th or 19th, 2018, 2019 World of Wheels show on Craving Cars.
There you go.
And then you'll see what I'm talking about. And that was really broke up. I don't even know why I brought it up. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
It's like we can edit that out. Oh wait,
No, we're live.
not today.
We don't edit anything. We're live.
Yeah.
Why are you so green on the camera?
It's the
Is it the
hoodie.
shirt?
It's the hoodie.
Is it
The lights reflecting off it.
Oh, it's the We Are Warriors. Ba, ba, da, ba, ba, ba.
Bum.
We're not.
Sorry.
We're not going there.
No, we're not.
All right, so you got a product. I got a product. We're gonna do this real
Yeah,
quick.
we're gonna do something because I was talking to you earlier. So we have a big process when it comes the workflow of the media crew and what we do and what it takes.
Yep.
Start to finish to really put a full edited video out. And to be honest, there's even more that can go onto the edits that we even do. Technically speaking, I mean, I can only imagine knowing what our workflow is and have been around it for many years. Like, think of a movie. I mean, look how much more things that they're doing even on
Which
movies.
takes years to produce.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done rallies where we run 5-6 cameras,
Yep.
right?
And it's not always enough either. It's just like, oh,
No.
we're going to miss something. So biggest thing is you got to get used to you're not going to catch everything.
No.
You're not going to catch everything.
Nope.
You just got to catch what you think you can. Just do what you can. It's more than just video. So anybody that brings somebody on, it doesn't, not saying us per se, but just any photographer,
Yep.
Videographer, whatever, to do their shows or events, know that it's going to take some time. I know
It does.
we can get some out pretty quick on some shorter videos and get them out before the next weekend a lot of times, but we're also spending many hours on our off time to get those buttoned
Yeah.
up and taken out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the life. It's we do a day job. We go home and edit for more hours and try to fit a little dinner in there, and then go
Yeah.
to bed and then
Yeah.
wake up and rinse
And then we have
repeat.
friends that reach out, right? Hey, can you build this for me? Can you do that for me? I mean, that
Yes.
just throws into it, right? It's not
Right.
like this is our full-time job.
We gotta spend as much time as we can with our significant others. And
We do.
and obviously it's always a big thank you to our spouses out there that
Yeah.
help support us
Yeah.
and stuff, because we wouldn't be able to do a lot of this one for them. So
That's true. That's true.
but outside of everything and getting more detail on editing and actually producing it, there's two different ends of the spectrum. There's an organization of transporting and setting, put things up, and then an actual tool that you could use
Yeah.
during the actual production
Yeah.
of filming. And I asked you, what was your favorite tool that helps you organize gear? And what'd you come up with?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say my favorite, but it is important.
What's an important gear?
It
There
is
you go.
important.
I think I did
So-
use that word, not favorite.
So it is this, right? Which is basically it's a big rubber band with a bungee. I don't know what you want to call that, but if you look at it here, it's just a little peg is what you want to call
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah.
But you can wrap it around anything, and then all of a sudden it holds all your wiring. But it's big rubber band, and you just take it back off, and you just go to the next and wrap up as many as you want. I love these things, and they're called
Was it like a bongo tie or something?
bongoties.com.
There you go. Bongoties.com.
I love these things. Instead
Yep.
of zip ties or Velcro, these things just strap around anything and just tie it all down.
You got no residue of any stickiness.
I've got like 20 cables right here.
I know.
I wish you could
Look at
see
that.
it, but 20 cables tied up with it. And I run it
over
on
there.
everything. Just keeps cables organized. That's my cheap thing, but invaluable. Because, we all buy a ton of cables,
right.
Could be for anything, chargers, whatever, wires. And then you pull it out of a bag, and all of a sudden it's just a big knot, right? It's always about organization when
So-
you're done.
Yeah.
So the next time you want to use it, it works.
So not only when we're let's say arriving to an event and you pull something out, you can easy access things better because of those, because they keep things nice and
Right.
And when you're putting them away, it just makes it easier to put them away.
That's right.
And then they're never tangled, never whatever.
Instead of Velcro, wire ties, how am I, wrapping the cables around that now they're getting stretched and they break, and now you got to buy a new cable. Yeah. Bongo ties.
Dun, 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 dun. No, that doesn't work. Sorry. Yeah. And
What's
then
yours?
And then you asked me.
I did. And you went to the extreme.
Well, I just happen to have one handy to show you.
All right, let's see it.
So Chris was talking about, while filming, what was one of the whether it's the most important or favorite or whatever it is, tool for getting the job done and filming it, and it was one of these. It doesn't necessarily have to be this, but right now, if you don't know what that is a gimbal. And so what a gimbal does, if you've watched our videos on YouTube, Craving Cars, just so you know, there are basically 2 ways where you can film. You can either do it, or 3 ways really. You can have it stationary, like on a tripod, which you don't get much movement out of that one.
Right.
You can handhold it. You don't get much stability out of that.
Nope.
Or you can use a gimbal. And what a gimbal is going to do is you put your camera on here, and it's a 3-axis gimbal, so it actually has a motor here. You got a motor there and a motor back there. And that basically you get your camera set up on it. Here, I'll kind of simulate how it would look if a camera was actually on it, which I did not do that part. So it's basically...
It's a stabilizer.
It does exactly that.
So an easy way to describe it is if you walked around holding your cell phone in your hand and
Yeah.
you tried to walk and film somebody walking,
Yep.
it's just a bunch of shake.
And as your camera's here, well, now that I don't have a camera, and as you're moving, your camera just stays put.
Right.
And the motors just help keep it together. So they call it a gimbal. They do have mechanical ones as well, but now as much as these things are getting so good at what they do electronically wise, it's kind of hard to use a manual one, in my opinion. So
Agreed.
Takes a lot more of a learning curve with that. But that's it. I mean, this is the gimbal that if I've got smooth shots, it's because of one of these little guys. While you're walking around, you get that nice, smooth, just... I don't know if I'd call it butter per se, but this is a small one. Now, this is going to be for like a really small camera. Typically, the ones we're using in a lot of our shoots are a lot bigger than this.
Yeah.
But we also have much bigger cameras, the whole setups, mics on them,
Yeah.
and things like that. But that's just kind of more of a small handheld.
But a great thing for
Put a
cell
thing.
phones, small cameras,
Got a little extended.
action cams, that kind of a thing.
that way you can set it down.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
But
awesome.
that's it. That's a gimbal. This happens to be by a company called Zhiyun. Speaking of Ford going to China, this is a Chinese company. actually.
Zion.
But they make really good gimbals.
Yeah, I call it Zion.
We like DJI.
I know,
we like
argued
DJI
about
ones
this
as well.
yesterday. Yeah,
So-
we do.
Hey, we got to talk a little bit about some products. I like that. You guys got some other stuff for us? Let us know.
Yep, please.
Jinx.
You owe me a Coke.
Wait a minute.
Hey, but big shout out to our guest tonight, Kids
Yes.
and Cars.
Kids and Cars,
Thank
thank
you so
you.
much for everybody
Awesome.
coming on.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks,
Cassie,
Trey. Thanks,
Paul,
Cassie.
Trey. Yeah, for sure.
And of course, to our other sponsors. Once again, thank you, Timely Delivery Services, Ridgeline. I'm sorry, I said
We are
Ridgeline. Ridgeline. Sorry, I said Ridgeline. Whoops.
yeah,
Ridgeline.
Ridgeline.
Timely Delivery Service. Obviously, Kids and Cars, who was on the show tonight. And thank you once again, Jason.
That's
right. We are Warriors.
Dun, dun,
Ba-ba-da-ba-bum.
bop, bop, bop. That's it.
That's it.
We don't get the last cue.
No, we haven't overcome that yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Hee, hee, hee.
All right, what's our plans this weekend?
We've none.
None. I agree. We need a break.
Actually, we do got some plans. I will be in St. Louis,
And I'll be at home.
and I'll be working on some editing and get some more content out because we got more stuff coming.
We got so
of
much
course.
content and we can't even keep up anymore.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, I appreciate everybody
if
joining
you're down
the
in
show.
Springfield, go to the More Expo.
That's true.
There you go.
Appreciate everybody joining the show.
Yes, thank you so much because we got it. Was very awesome. Thank you for everybody. Thank you to
You said
our
awesome.
significant others.
You told me to slap you next time
Cool.
you said awesome.
No, you said that for you. You just
Oh,
I said when I said cool.
Oh.
Oops, I just said
All
cool.
right, there you go. You said so cool.
Dang it.
Dang it.
Anyways, I think that's it. We signing out for the night.
I think we're done, my friend.
All righty. Thanks again, once again,
You
for
know, we're
everybody.
going to do something different.
Whoa, no.
We're not doing the closing music. We're just going to sign it out.
Sign it out. Well,
That's right.
in that case, once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for paying attention. I am Corey Pratt.
I am Chris Ruck.
And to all you cravers out there,
Keep craving.